Heave! Pull hard! It's coming up! Together now! Heave! Pull harder now! Hold it, hold it! Watch the cable! Hold the line, pull harder! It's too strong, look out! Don't let it go, keep pulling! Get the hook! I've got it, pull hard! Hold on to it! Heave, keep pulling. Almost there. We got it, secured. Look at the size of that thing. Get back, get back. It's got the net. Watch out for the lines. We need to cut it loose. Heave, keep pulling. Watch the cable. Get it back! Push! Watch the rail! Heave! Don't let it get away! Heave! Get back! Watch the tentacles! Sweet mother of God, look at the size of it! Clip engaged. Secure that line, watch the mantle. All right, moving to the next section. Pull that line tight, watch the crane. Heave! Get it secured now. Bring the hook down slowly. More rope on the starboard side. Get back, get back! We need to hold it down now. Heave! Pull harder on the cable. Don't let it get loose. It's breaking free. Watch the rail. Hold on to the rail. Watch out, it's huge. Don't let go. Heave! Lock it down now. Starboard side clear. All secure back here, Captain. .4 meters.
In the cold grey waters of the North Atlantic, a lone iron ship cut through the waves. On the wet deck, European fishermen in orange raincoats, black overalls, dark blue rubber gloves and yellow boots were straining to fight something huge under the dark water. The steel cable shook, as if a force from the abyss was trying to pull the entire ship down. Each pair of blue-gloved hands clung tightly to the cable. Each body in orange shirt leaned back, firmly standing on the slippery steel deck. The sound of the steel winch screeched. The sound of the cable straining, mixed with the howling wind and the waves crashing against the ship's side. They knew that at the other end of the cable was a creature that they might only encounter once in their entire life at sea. Then suddenly, the sea behind the ship exploded. A giant red-brown mass rose from the black water.
men. Secure the line. Secure the main line now. Watch the tentacles on the starboard side. Move it, we're losing daylight.
We got it. Repeat, the giant squid is secured.
Copy that. Shore patrol inbound.
Attention all hands, this is the captain. We have a confirmed visual on the target.
Water. A giant squid. Seawater and black ink shot into columns. The long, thick tentacles, covered with suction cups as big as bowls, slammed into the steel ship's hull, causing the entire ship to shake violently. The fishermen in orange shirts and yellow boots instinctively retreated, then immediately rushed forward, tightening their ropes, shouting at each other over the wind. The squid struggled frantically. The tentacles wrapped around the iron railing,
I've never seen one
lashed
this big
against the
before.
deck, brushed
Look at the
across
size
the
of
wooden
that eye.
crates and iron chains, causing everything to fly everywhere.
The ropes are
Black
holding
ink
fine
covered
here.
the orange
Yeah, but look at the
shirts,
tension near the head.
the blue gloves, and the slippery steel
surprisingly
floor. Each of its strikes was a direct hit to the ship's hull. The boundary between life and death right on this steel deck. The yellow boots slid along the wet deck.
We got it.
A tentacle crawled close to the foot.
Biggest
Suction
one I've ever
cups
seen.
clinging to the steel
secure
surface.
that line.
Steel sticks, iron hooks, and ropes were thrown out in succession. They were not fishing. They were wrestling with a living legend of the deep sea. The steel winch continued to whine, gradually pulling the giant squid's body up onto the deck. The shiny red-brown skin rubbed against the edge of the ship, leaving behind streaks of water and thick black ink. The squid tensed up, its huge body moving bit by bit, being pulled and trying to break free from the ropes that were tightening around it. Each meter of rope pulled in was a fierce resistance. Then its giant head slammed down on the steel deck. A heavy sound reverberated in the bowels of the ship. The squid was not yet defeated. The long tentacles lashed out repeatedly. Sometimes only a few.
Pull harder on that side. Watch out for the tentacles. Move it.
The crane is engaged. Start the ascent.
Confirming lift sequence initiated. Careful with the mantle.
Hold the nets quickly. Get back. Watch out for the wave.
Few inches from the faces of the men in orange shirts. They crouched down, avoiding the blows, then rushed in again, looping more rope, tightening more knots. On the iron deck, the chaotic scene clearly reflected the primal power of the ocean. Seawater splashed, black ink streaked. The steel floor shook with each hit of the tentacles. But in the heart of that storm, the orange-clad figures remained firmly attached to the deck. Their dark blue gloves never leaving the rope. Their yellow boots never slipping out of place. Thick ropes were thrown over the tentacles, tightening around the slippery skin. Rough knots gradually appeared along the squid's body, clinging to the cold iron hull. Steel cables were hooked into hooks. Locks were hooked into anchor holes, all pinning the deep-sea monster to the deck. The squid still fought.
Mist is rolling in thick. We need to secure this now before the waves pick up. Are the cables secure? Alright, they're tight now.
Back. The last spasms made the
All right,
ropes
everyone,
jump.
listen up.
The deck
This
followed.
specimen is larger than
Suction
anything
cups
we've caught
scraped
before.
across
We
the
need to
steel
secure the
floor,
mantle before the
leaving
temperature-
jagged circular marks. The beating of the tentacles gradually faded, giving way to the gasps of men who had just crossed the boundary between life and death in a few short minutes. Amidst the sound of the steel winches slowing down, the swaying of the ropes and the sound of waves still pounding against the ship's side, the giant squid's form lay trapped in a maze of wires, cables and iron anchors, against the cold grey background of the iron deck. Its huge red-brown body contrasted sharply with the orange spots of the raincoat and the yellow of the rubber boots. A few tentacles still twitched weakly, sending slight vibrations up to the deck. Each time, the blue gloves tightened the rope a little more. Their eyes never leave.
Secure! Secure the line!
Leaving the giant creature lying before them. They were not just holding a squid. They were trying to grasp the living evidence of the story they would tell all their lives at sea. Finally, when the heavy struggles of the squid subsided, leaving only trembling movements along its body, the atmosphere on the deck changed. The shouts gradually turned into broken sentences, relieved laughter, and tired sighs. The orange shirts were soaked with water and black ink. The blue gloves were limp. But everyone's eyes shone with the same thing: they had done the almost impossible. On the iron deck, in the middle of the icy ocean, those European fishermen pulled up from the depths a ghost of legend, a giant squid struggling to the limit of its strength. This brief but fierce battle on the slippery steel surface will forever be an indelible mark in their memories, and a reminder.
Heads up! Catch that line! I got it! Heave away!
Ensure the samples are logged before we reach the main lab. The eye alone is remarkable.
Noted, Doctor. The structural integrity seems high despite the trauma.
Never seen one this sick before.
It's remarkable. Note the beak condition immediately.
The main hook was lodged right here, near the mantle.
I'm noting the tissue damage and the depth.
That,
It's stabilized
beneath
at
those
12.5
seemingly silent
millimeters.
waters, there are still
Remarkable
enormous
size
mysteries
for
that
this depth.
humans have only scratched the surface of. As the giant squid lay motionless in the maze of ropes and steel cables, the iron deck still shook slightly from the aftershocks of the recent battle. The sea breeze carried a chill through each orange raincoat, causing the men who had just strained themselves against the force of the deep sea to shiver slightly. But in their eyes, there was no longer fear, only respect for the creature that had just been tamed. Black drops of water still flowed from the squid's body, mixing with the seawater on the steel surface, creating dark and light streaks. Each streak of ink seemed to record a moment of the battle. Each taut rope seemed to be a testament to the resilience of humans
Gently
against
slide it out.
nature. And
Make
each
sure the
rapid
doors
breath
are
in the
secure.
ink-stained masks was a heartbeat of courage.
This confirms delivery. Sign here, please.
Yeah, all right.
Pleasure doing business with you, Doctor.
Likewise, Captain. We'll be in touch with the results.
Well, the deck is finally spotless.
Yeah, time for that break we heard.
A group of fishermen walked around the squid, still in their soaked orange shirts and heavy yellow boots. They checked every knot, every piece of cable, making sure there was no chance the creature would rise again. A long tentacle still trembled slightly, tapping the steel floor like a sea warrior's final farewell. They stood still, silent for a few seconds, not out of fear, but out of respect for its resilience. Then a loud command rang out in the wind. The men returned to their familiar work rhythms of the sea, recording, measuring, checking cable tension, adding more safety rope. Dark blue gloves, though torn in some places from friction, continued to grip the rough tools. They knew that, despite their victory, the power of the ocean was never to be underestimated. A man with a weather-beaten face bent over the
And then it grabbed the net. The whole thing. We fought it for hours, right there by the reef.
It was massive, a real giant squid. The biggest I've ever seen.
Giant squid's body, the deck light illuminating the veins under its damp skin. He reached out and touched the smooth but cold skin, as if placing his hand on an ancient story. "It's huge," he said softly, his voice drowned by the wind. No one answered, but everyone was thinking the same thing. The grey sky opened up, revealing a pale light through the thick clouds. Waves still crashed against the ship's hull, but not as fiercely as when the squid had struggled. It was as if the sea itself had tired from that moment of explosive power. On deck was a rare sight, a mythical creature firmly in human control, but without losing its mystery or majesty. The fishermen kept their distance, not out of fear but out of a clear awareness that they were facing something bigger than any previous voyage. A young sailor, his hands still shaking slightly with a
Almost there, finally. Yeah.
Adrenaline. Quietly observed the bowl-sized suction cups. Even when motionless, they looked as if they could spring up at any moment to grab anything within reach. He looked down at his ink-stained orange-black suit, then back at the creature before him, and a smile of disbelief spread across his face. He had just survived an encounter with one of the most mysterious predators of the deep. The sound of the winch faded. The soft vibration of the steel wire gradually ceased. The shouts were about to subside into low, tired but proud words. The European fishermen, seemingly insignificant men in the vast ocean, had brought a piece of deep-sea legend onto the heavy iron deck of their ship, and as they prepared to move this prize into a permanent position to be brought back to land, everyone knew clearly, from today, not only they, but the whole world, would know
Lower it slowly, watch the ropes. All right, set it down easy. We're clear back here.
the story of the giant squid that had once thrashed violently on their deck, a story written in sea water, cold steel, black
The harbor's
ink,
behind us now.
and the bravery of the men in orange on the high seas. On the iron deck, the work was not yet over. The battle was over. But its aftermath was still imprinted on every inch of steel. Ropes were strewn about. Black ink was smeared. And long streaks of seawater stood out, like lines emphasizing the story that had just happened. Orange raincoats peeked out from the white steam rising from the cold deck. Dark blue gloves continued to work, no longer tense from the struggle for life and death, but now meticulous. Sure. Tight. They began to secure giant squid to the safe anchor points on the deck. Each loop of rope that passed over its body, tightened, was a layer of protection, not...
I still can't believe the size of it.
Gone as quickly as it appeared.
Should we report it?
to protect the squid, but to protect the ship itself and its people. Should it have the strength to rise again, the atmosphere on deck was different. Less panic, less chaos. But no one dared to relax completely. Every tentacle, even if it was just a slight vibration, still made several eyes turn immediately. Checking the rope, looking at the knot, assessing the safe distance. Men who had been at sea for a long time knew, the sea is unforgiving to those who were not vigilant. A few fishermen began to place measuring tapes along the squid's body. The numbers appearing on the markings made the group silent for a moment. They looked at each other, then at the giant creature in front of them, as if to make sure they were not seeing things. Having spent their lives on the sea, they were used to the stories told in the taverns by the port. With numbers exact.
Watch out, it's heading for the crates! Get a line on it, quick! Careful, don't slip! Watch it! Hold the line, pull it tight! It's too strong, watch out! Engage the winch now!
Generated over the years. Today, they themselves became living witnesses to a story that future generations would probably be as skeptical as they were skeptical of their predecessors. Amidst the sound of the wind still brushing against the edges of their orange shirts, the sound of the waves still pounding against the steel hull, each scribbled line was recorded in the voyage logbook. Date, coordinates, depth, weather, ship condition, and one line. Above all, giant squid, caught on the afterdeck, deep sea offshore. The letters trembled slightly as the ship still rocked, but were still firm enough to not fade in the memories of those who wrote it. At the bow, a few people silently looked out at the grey horizon. Orange shirts fluttered in the wind. Yellow boots stood firmly planted on the steel deck. They did not say
Secure the rope now! Pull it tight, quickly! Don't let go!